Hello everyone, that Manga Kid here to give my review of King of Eden by Takashi Nagasaki and Ignito. This is I believe it's 6 volumes because I think these are 3 2-in-1s. This is released by Yen Press, and it is a horror thriller series about a virus that is turning people into these monsters that are eating and murdering each other. And so basically, we start off with, we meet this Korean, I think she's like a medical scientist or something, or maybe she's just an archaeologist. I can't remember what exactly her profession is, but she's basically called upon by some of the some lead scientists and whatnot to go and investigate, because random towns, cities, places around the world, this virus is causing all of the residents to turn into monsters, eat each other, and then they all die. And there's this man who is appearing at all of these scenes of this virus. And so the main questions that this story, is asking is, who is this guy? How is he involved? What is this virus? Where did it come from? How is it spreading? Because it seems pretty targeted. It will pop up randomly in a village, and then in one country, and then all of a sudden in a different country, there's another village that it randomly pops up in. And that doesn't make any sense, because all of the people who are infected die very quickly because they all murder each other and then they all die on the spot. And so how is this virus getting spread when, there isn't seemingly a person who is carrying it to all these weird, seemingly random places? And so, we follow these kind of this investigation team with this Korean woman and a bunch of other people on the team as well. And then there's this guy who, we see kind of throughout the series, and he's completely a mystery until close to the end, what his involvement is. And we're also watching almost a cult-like situation going on, that we're trying to figure out how this group is related to this virus and what's going on. We're also watching all the world leaders. There's a very political aspect to this story, watching all the world leaders trying to weaponize this virus and trying to get their hands on it so that, they're the ones with the power. And there's a lot of moving pieces to this series. I think that I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. However, I think there are too many pieces, like moving pieces in this story. There's too many hands in the pot, because it gets a bit confusing. I think it jumps around a lot to like timelines and facts and characters and all these things. They're all intertwined, and it's a bit difficult to follow. Now, that being said, I did read this as it was coming out, so I did have to wait quite a bit in between each volume, and then I waited even longer to get the third volume because there was no sales or anything happening. And then eventually, when it did go on sale, I bought it and read it, but it had been quite a while since I had read the first 2. So part of that is probably that I didn't sit down and read it all in a short span of time. But I think that there is a bit of a confusing aspect to this story of just like, I think they may have had an idea at the beginning of what they wanted to do, and then I think it got lost a little bit, and then, they tried to pull it all together. And that's just my impression of it. Maybe, it was all thought out, meticulously from the beginning, and it just didn't execute in a way that made sense to me. I'm not sure. But all of that being said, I really like the artwork. I am really into horror series. And so there's the woman I was speaking about. There's a lot of historical aspects of this as well. So I think that was it. There's like, historical things going on. There's political things going on. There's, mythology and supernatural elements, and a lot of dialogue. And I think it was just, a lot of things going on at one time that was a little bit difficult to, keep track of who's who, what's what, where's this all happening, because it's happening all over the world, right? So you're watching, like, one moment you're in Germany, the next moment you're in Korea, then you're in Japan, and then you're in, Denmark or whatever, I don't know. There's a lot of countries involved here, and so it was a bit difficult to keep track of what was going on. But all in all, I did really enjoy King of Eden. I think I would recommend it if you're looking for kind of a darker, gruesome story. It was a bit interesting reading this during a pandemic. As I was reading it, I was like, yep, this feels a little bit too close to home, but okay. Yeah, so maybe if you're feeling a bit burnt out on the pandemic, maybe you save this one for a little later. But yeah, it was very good. I did really enjoy it. I like the artwork. I think it was very captivating and compelling. It definitely does warrant a reread for me to probably fully understand what was going on. But yeah, King of Eden. Interesting story that really I didn't know existed at all. I just kind of came across the cover of the first volume and went, oh, that looks interesting, and bought it on a whim, or pre-ordered it on a whim, because I was like, I like horror series, why not? And then, yeah, it turned out to be pretty entertaining. So, anyway, thanks for watching.